Hello, all you hardcores. Today we're joined by Yaz. How are you doing, Yaz? Are you all right, mate? He's not clicked on
All
yet.
right, pal.
Yeah, let me just give a big shout
What's you
out.
got up there? Yeah, I'm good. You?
Let me just give a big shout out to our sponsors who are pinned in the comment section to the top, Human Nutrients. Right, how are you doing, Jazz?
I'm doing good, mate. Can you hear me okay? Everything all right,
Yeah,
technically
brilliant,
wise?
mate. Did you watch boxing overnight?
I did. I did. Yes, I did.
What did you think?
Well, main event.
Main event. Well, the rest of it were pony. Main event.
Yeah. Main event. Wow. I've got to be honest. I've never seen Usyk look better. I've never seen him look better. I thought it were immense. I mean, I can keep asking me or
Do what?
well, I think people have been too harsh on Daniel Dubois. That's what I would say. I think people have been too harsh on Daniel Dubois and not giving enough credit to Alexander Usyk. I think people are saying how bad Dubois was, but I just don't think we're giving enough credit to how good Alexander Usyk was. He was absolutely phenomenal. You know, we go on, we talk about Tyson Fury for such a big guy. He's like a middleweight. He's like a super middleweight, the way he moves and blah, blah, blah. But I thought Alexander Usyk looked like a goddamn super featherweight. He
Yeah,
was like a heavyweight. He was like a heavyweight Prince Nazim. His
yeah.
agility, his movements, his feint, his lead right hand, his power. He could take a shot just the way he commanded it. Everything phenomenal. Because when I saw Dubois, he was up for it. I think he looked great, positive vibes, his body language. But I just think he came across someone who is probably the best to ever do it. I
Do you
think
think
he's probably the
the
best to
game
ever
plan
do it.
was crap from Don Charles?
Well, I think the game plan went out of the window in the first round after Dubois just kept getting smashed with a jab and he couldn't get his own shots off. I think he was shell shocked. He was shell shocked. That's what he looked like. I think when he were looking over to his corner, and obviously there's as it's been said, there were way too many people getting involved. Too many cooks spoil the broth. Too many people in his ear. But I think he was just shell shocked. I think it was way too much for him, and he were done. He took his spirit. He took his soul.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Usyk is unbelievable.
Do you feel, Jazz, that he quit because he didn't have an answer? Because when he got up at the count, just after the count of 10, he stood up and he walked over pretty coolly, didn't he? What he want, staggering or unsteady. And that to me is a quit. And I said a couple of days ago in my video, will John Coffey quit in the rematch? And people said, Porky, you're a hater. Porky, you're a hater. Because they've all been drip fed the rubbish from Bricktop and Talksport and everybody else about Dubois being this new guy and Don Charles being this go to Don Charles and all that nonsense. What are they going to do now with him? Send him to Andy Lee or Ben Davidson? What are they going to do?
Well, he's been to Shane McGuigan, hasn't he? I think Shane McGuigan's a great trainer. I don't think he gets enough credit. I like Shane McGuigan. Something's not right there, I would say, but I think, like I said, for me, he looked shell shocked. He looked like he'd seen a ghost when he got up and walked. He was stunned. He was absolutely the life had been taken out of him. I think it was man against boy. Usyk was phenomenal. I can't give him enough credit. His footwork, his everything. He's just unbelievable. He's better than I thought he was, and I thought he was fantastic. He's better than I thought he was. I think he had the bit between his teeth. I think the fact that Daniel Dubois interrupted him in that, when he was giving the interview and he started speaking about his dad, because you've seen him get emotional before in the past about his dad in interviews, Alexander Usyk. And I think Daniel Dubois, as he said, don't push the horses. And I think he ruffled some feathers. And usually where Usyk might look at it like a sport, I think he wanted to do damage to him. I think he's trained harder than he'd ever trained before. I think he's got in there and he's wanted, and he's done exactly what. I mean, the guy is just phenomenal, isn't he? He does exactly what it says on the tin. He ain't one of these that needs to post an Instagram story and say, I'm running 20K today and get a sweat on or whatever. You know that guy's doing it. You know he's up at crack of dawn. You know he's giving it everything. He's putting the good stuff in his body. You know what I mean? He's getting to bed early. He's a family man. He's got his head screwed on. I mean, how do you beat him?
Try and talking to your mic because you're talking away out
How
of
do you beat someone like that?
Yaz,
How do you beat?
Yaz, listen to me. Listen carefully. You're talking offline, so it's not picking it up. You've got to speak into your phone. What? Can you hear me? Not hear me now?
Is it better there where I hold the
Yeah.
mic?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Do
Is
you
it?
feel
It's
that?
better. It's better when I do that.
Who's hosting here, me or you? What are you doing?
No, I'm asking you if you can hear me, mate. I'm asking you if you can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you, but you're talking to the side all the time. Try and keep it.
Oh, okay.
That's it. Yeah, is that all right there? Yeah.
Yeah, this is the mic on the thing.
Right, I agree
Yeah.
with what you said. I agree with what you said there, right? But do you think that Usyk, the fact that he's not doing 20 miles, like running down the street like Fury, who runs 20 meters, throws water on his son like his father, and goes another 10 kilometers in bag. The fact that he doesn't do that, right, leaves them to think and do their own heads in, because a lot of them are looking like the beat before they get in there. To me now, do you feel?
Yeah, I mean that. Yeah, you could say that. You could say that. I mean, I didn't think like I said, I didn't think Dubois looked beat until after that first round. I think he realised, but he was still throwing, and he actually clipped Usyk, but Usyk took one to give one that right hook, that left hand, that right hook in when he put him down the first time. I thought Dubois were really up for it. I don't think he could have been in any better shape mentally as well as physically. But he did quit. 100% he quit. He did have something left in the tank and he didn't want to go. He did not want to go out in his shield. We got to give Tony Bellew his props because, to be fair to Tony Bellew, I was thinking about it. He didn't quit. He went out on his shield. He got absolutely KO'd. He went to bottom moon. So fair play for Tony Bellew on
Oh, what a
that.
great night that was when Bellew
You
got
know, we
this
give
up.
boxers enough grief.
God. What a great night, man. I'll never forget that night as long as I live. When I'm, Tony, you got
It were a
greedy.
lot better than Bellew.
He's been dining
It were a
out.
lot better than Bellew cleverly too. I can tell you that.
You are.
It were a lot better than Bellew cleverly too. I can tell you that.
Bellew cleverly. Oh my, Bellew cleverly too. Oh my God. The only person who made any money on that one was Eddie Hills. He made $1 million. Other two fighters only got 400 grand between them. So, okay. So we spoke about Dubois, the game plans and all that. But what about Bricktop coming out at the end, shielding Dubois from the media and then saying he gave him a share of 2 rounds?
Well, it's interesting. I think I watched Frotch's breakdown on it, and he had a similar thing straight after the fight. He gave Dubois quite a bit of credit. He said he gave him a couple of rounds. He said he actually gave the first round 10. Yeah, he gave the first round 10-10.
They'd have to give him credit though, wouldn't they? Because they want access.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. They have to be careful of what they're saying, and I thought, like I said, I just thought Usyk was so good. It was funny. I listened to Terry's take, and I know he'd had a few, and he's passionate, and I love Terry. But I don't think, even if you'd have had Angelo Dundee in his corner, I don't think it would have made a difference. I just think you've got a lad there in Usyk who's been doing it that long. He's had that many fights. He's seen it all before. Been there, seen it, done it, wore the T-shirt.
Sorry, we just had a call. Sorry, can you speak for a sec?
Yeah.
Are you on a phone call?
Yeah, Zoom.
Yeah, we just had a call from people in there because obviously it looks a bit sus with you having the camera, the tripod out.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Just a Zoom meeting.
No worries, you're on a Zoom meeting.
Yeah.
Travelling step.
Yeah.
Right, no worries.
All right. It's your mates, Rose.
Tell him to F off. Hey?
That's the first.
Get him
They've
updated
caught
bloody
police
face
on
on
us.
here now, in. Hey? Copper. They can't stop you doing that, mate. I can send you links and everything. They can't stop you. It's none of their business. Where's that? West Yorkshire?
No, this is outside Manchester Airport. I'm flying today.
Oh, yeah.
So that's why I've come out at airport to do this quick interview with you.
All right. Well,
I'm going to Barcelona to see me mate. I'm going to go there for a week.
okay. Go on, getting back to what we were talking about then we John Coffey. What next?
Yeah, I was just
John
saying, I don't
Coffey?
think it, even if you'd have put, well, Anthony Joshua will want to fight him, won't he? Anthony Joshua will want to fight him in a rematch now. That's the perfect fight. Eddie Hearn will be all over him. Yeah. What about Huey? Huey Fury against Dubois. Get in there, box his head off, put him on end at jab. If you can't cope with a jab, Huey, go southpaw and just put him on end of a right hand jab.
Yeah, well, it depends if Huey's got his man strength, doesn't it?
Well, again, it depends what's going on with Huey. It depends in between his ears. I think that's the issue, isn't it?
Is it a crossroads fight, Huey against him, or would Huey be further down pecking order than, say, the White Rhino? The White Rhino against Dubois at the Copper Box, like I called it at Christmas, in a brick-top Christmas bonanza.
Yeah, well, do you know what was interesting about when Frank Warren did his interview? He actually said, if Daniel wants to continue, did you notice that when he said, if Daniel wants to continue? And I thought, wow, that's an interesting way to put it, because I think Frank's like a bit of a father figure to him, and I think he gives it to him straight, and I don't think he'll have been happy with the performance, because they asked him, are you happy with it? Do you think he could have done it different? And he said, yeah, I do. I think he could have put his hands up. That were a big thing, wasn't it? His hands weren't high enough. A lot of people were screaming that from ringside to him, and a lot of boxers. Dave Allen, I saw him speaking about it. He just couldn't get his head around it. He's like, I don't understand. He looked like a novice. He didn't have his hands up. So I think he upset Bricktop, and yeah, I think he said to him, if you want to continue, as in like, I'm not putting up with this. I'm not going to make you star a show and put everything in your favour if you're going to come out and perform, or you're going to let it get to you, or you're going to quit on me again. I'm not going to invest in you if you're going to quit on me again, kind of thing.
Do you think if they put a Toma in with him after he beats Dylan White, because he's going to obviously beat Dylan White, then he's going to call Usyk out. Usyk fights Parker, and then a Toma's going to be ringside because they'll have called that WBO by then, won't they? Because they've not got a claim to the throne now. There's 4 or 5 belts. They haven't got any of them. Well, 6 if you include Ring Magazine, isn't it? So Bricktop and Hills have not got a belt. You got Fury and Dubois with no belts. A Toma with no belts. A Coley didn't look fantastic, did he? Wardley, he won't beat Usyk, would he? Who's that leave? Derek Chisora, he's at top at IBF. So, and he's already lost to him. So, we're in no man's land, and we've got one world champion, Nick Ball, as a male. What's happening, Yaz?
Yeah. It's a funny one, isn't it? If Turkey, he wants the Atoma fight. Now everyone's saying it's way too early for him, but do you remember Atoma were trying to beat youngest world champion? He wanted to beat Mike Tyson record, and then that kind of he went quiet on that. But if Turkey wants it, he might make the offer too irresistible to refuse. I think it's way too early for him personally. I mean, what a step up. Where's the, you know what I mean? I don't see it. I think we'll find a lot of. Yeah, it would. You'd absolutely ruin him. I'd like to see what happens in that White fight. See what kind of shape Dylan White comes in. So that'll be interesting. We'll know a lot then if he's coming to fight. Look at the kid who came back from the David Adelaide lost. I forget his name now. What's that lad who came back last night? He won it against the knockout artist who'd come over. He won it on points. I forget his name now. He was on the undercard and he won against the. Yeah, I think he'd be a good fight for Dubois coming back. That'd be a
What
good one
about the
for him
White
because
Rhino
he
and
looked like he was blowing
Dubois?
after 3 or 4 rounds.
What about Rhino and Dubois? Unfinished business.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to see it. I like Dave. I just think it's easy work for Dubois. I think it's easy work. It'd be what would it be? The battle. The battle of. I mean, it's a bit harsh saying the battle of the quitters, but they've both got previous, haven't they, where they've basically checked out. They've both had less stuff in tank and then decided that they didn't want any more.
Well, that fight, I'm sure they'll be looking at somebody to bring him back to look good against. And Rhino's just a sitting duck, and he'll take the money, Rhino, because he's daft, isn't he? Daft Dave. But it is what it is. I'm just saying he needs
Yeah.
to fix. They've promised him fights and all that, and they're not delivering for him, are they, Rhino?
No. Well, Rhino's been asking for Wilder, hasn't he? I mean, that might not be a bad fight for Dubois either. Deontay Wilder.
Yeah, it's a name, isn't it?
That could be a decent fight for him.
Mm.
Yeah, it's a name.
Bean leaked in the run up to it. Super Bean. You were getting carried away by Dubois' power and all that. Do you think they were just paying lip service to Team Dubois and Team Bricktop so that they can always stay mix and say, well, we could see how he could have won, but we had Usyk favourite. Instead of just saying, look, he never won a fucking round last time and he won't this time. Why can't people speak the truth? These are supposed to be our boxing experts. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. I know what you mean. But we all fell into, well, a few of us fell into that trap, didn't we? I mean, I made a case for Dubois. I said where I could see it. Terry on his pre-fight. Terry did it too. Terry was, making a case for him. We could make a case for him after what we'd seen the. Yeah, I think he did. Yeah, he did. Now, whether it was tongue in cheek, I don't know. You'd have to ask him. But I remember that interview. We were basically disagreeing with everything you said, or he was being oppositional to everything you said. I don't know if he was doing it just for fun, but he actually did make. Yeah, but I think a few people fell into that trap because Daniel had done well. He had shown a different side of him character-wise. He had gone the distance. He'd shown better fitness. He'd shown that he has a hell of a chin. So we thought, well, how's Usyk going to stop him? We know he's not this big puncher at heavyweight. We know he's concussive, but he's not, Daniel can. So there was, and we knew he had home advantage. We knew that he was coming. He's 27. It was 2 years ago that he fought Usyk. Usyk's got 2 years older, so it made sense. But what we didn't think is that Usyk could get better. And what we didn't realize is that maybe Usyk just got really motivated, where he's been doing this sport for 30 years and he's probably gone through the motions a little bit at times. He was super motivated for this fight. Super motivated. And you saw it. He looked fantastic. Even though he was 20 pounds heavier, he looked lighter. He looked lighter. Like his physique, everything. It was, I think he was phenomenal. He was phenomenal.
Yeah, he was on point all the way through, wasn't it? With his fencing and with his counter punching. His movement's sublime, isn't it? I mean, wow.
Yeah. His jab in that first round was like a corkscrew hook. It was so quick. It was so quick. He would throw a feint, a half. He would throw this like Mayweather used to do it with his backhand, his right backhand, like a little fake, and then go with the back right hand. But Usyk was doing it with his front jab right hand. He was doing this. He was drawing a movement out of Daniel, and then just boom, smashing him with that right jab. It was like almost like a little corkscrew hook. It was wow. It was just brilliant to watch.
What did you think to at first knockdown? Do you think he was just going through gears then?
Yeah, I think he was drawing him on. He was leading him on. I think he was looking for that shot. And I think he discombobulated Daniel. It was one of those back of the head, wasn't it? It was like round there.
Yeah.
So I don't think there need to be. It was like how Joshua got hit by Ruiz. It makes you go a bit discombobulated. So, I think it was one of those where it stunned him.
Fury's come out this morning and he's screaming and shouting about, I'm the only guy that can beat Usyk. Give me that fight next. I've already beat him twice. Do we need to see that?
No, I don't. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. I've got no interest in that because I just think it's a money grab. I just don't have, you know what I mean? It's a bit, Fury's like a bit like the White Rhino in a way. Just, do you know what I mean? Like tells a good story, gets you to believe, but when it comes to it, it's the same meal. We've dressed it up in a different cookbook. We've said we're adding all these different ingredients, but it's the same meal. We've ate it before. We've had it before. We've been disappointed by it before. So, um, I, if he's going to fight anybody, he's got to fight Joseph Parker for me, or the guy who's a heavyweight but great at doing the body shots. Cabayal, or what's his name? Yeah, I think he'd be awkward. Yeah, I think him. But do they sell? Are they big enough names?
Probably not. They'd have
Probably
to be
not.
Saudi them fights, wouldn't they? Parker and Usyk, because they wouldn't be able to sell that over here because Parker stinks out arenas. And but Usyk, he might be a draw over here because there were a lot of crowd cheering for him, wasn't there?
Yeah, you know who's got a shout, Russ? Derek. And it's laughable, isn't it? Because we know we know who's going to win it all day long. But Derek's actually got a shout. He's got a shout at that fight because he's a draw. People like him. He can sell, he does sell. And he's actually give Usyk, they'll sell it on he give him his hardest fight. Derek's crazy
Is
enough.
that
Derek
where we're at
switched. He's a
now?
switch hitter.
Is that where we're at? We're going to put him in with Derek, who's never won
Yeah.
a title. He's a contender, an old contender from Donkey's years back. Is that where we're at now? Wow. Man with 13 plus losses on.
Yeah.
Oh, God. British
Well,
boxing.
he said, I'm going to go for dinner. He said, I'm going to go for dinner with him tomorrow. I'm going to have a word with him. And I think when he went to see Don Charles, Derek, by his own admission, Don Charles told him to get lost. He said, go suck Usyk off. Go with your best mate. Don't come in here. And just sent him off.
That's
And
aggressive.
Derek was like, oh, forgive him, you know, because yeah.
Well, this is how I look at it. Derek,
Sorry, mate. He said, there's a bit of a lag. There's a bit of a lag. Sorry
Derek
about that.
having dinner with Usyk means Derek knocking on his hotel room door with two burgers and him eating one and saying, do you want a burger, Usyk?" That's Derek's idea of dinner. Don't mean say Usyk's going to be having it. He's just going to take the burger, have one bite like he normally does, and then love it, innit? I don't think Derek should get the fight. If he does, it's bad for boxing because it'd be an easy night's work for Usyk and he'd beat him uglier than he already is. You know, so I don't think it should be. I don't think it should be Fury. Definitely shouldn't be Joshua. Them Lotley need putting out to pasture now. All that. We've got to move on and let the next generation come through. If they think Moses Atoma is good enough now, they must do because he's number one ranked. So let's have him next in line. He's supposed to be the next big thing. Let's have him on. Let's have him on because he get beat up. They're not what we think. They've lobbied for him to get him that number one ranking, and now they don't know what to do. A bit like Joshua when he pinched Charlie Martin's fake belt, paper chump. Once they got that belt, they were like, "Oh my God, what can we do now? We've got to protect Anthony." And that a bit same with Moses. So let him off at lead if he's that good. They keep telling us there's this King Kong. Put him in Usyk. That's what I say. Or get him out of
Yeah, it's getting a bit WWE, isn't it?
You what? Yeah,
It's getting a bit WWE. Like even Eddie Hearn is now he's saying like Jake Paul. If Jake Paul really wants it, then we can do Jake Paul, Anthony Joshua, and Jake Paul were in the ring afterwards doing a face off with Usyk. Did you see that? He got the face off, and Joseph Parker didn't even get the face off.
Is that where we're at? Jake Paul in mix
Yeah.
with Usyk.
Yeah.
What would that be? A slaughter? That'd be a meat house job, wouldn't it? I can't believe he's talking about that. How would you could we put it? If he gets to fight with Usyk and it goes down as a professional fight, boxing is absolutely dead. I don't even think Usyk could take it, would he? Come on.
No, he shouldn't take it. He literally could beat Jake Paul with one hand. he could beat him with one hand, 100%.
Joshua would take it, wouldn't he?
One hand, he'd beat him.
He already took the Ngannou fight.
Yeah, you know, it was funny because Fury were interviewed and Fury said, I will put £1 million that Jake Paul had beat him. He said, I'll put £1 million on it. And I think he was being serious. So who knows? Why is he? He's actually
Fury's
adding fuel to the fire.
Bets, haven't we? We've heard about Fury's £1 million bets with Piers Morgan and that other one, 7 million to charity in Cedar, California. People are still waiting to be paid, aren't they? Fury with £1 million bets, you know. All right then. Well, listen, I'll let you get off for your flight, kid. You have a great time. Where you going? Barcelona.
Barcelona going to. I've never been before, so yeah, it should be good.
All right, be having on a couple of Guinness for you, kid.
All right, Russ. Thanks for having us on, mate.
It's bad reception because you're at
San Miguel.
All right then. All right, see you, mate.
Yeah.
Cheers.
See you, pal. Thanks for having us on, Russ. All the best.
Cheers, mate. Bye. Sorry for a bit of a time difference there between speaking because it's near an airport. And I did something a few years ago with somebody in an hotel room before Dennis got on a flight, and that was terrible as well. Okie dokie. So thanks for liking and subscribing, leaving a comment. That's about it. Oh, rest of the day now. It's good life, isn't it? Nice weather. Peace out. Don't forget to hit the link in the pinned comment section if you look on comments. Human nutrients pinned up. Click on that and have a look at the website. What do you think? Smashing it. Booyaka.